I want to introduce Bryan Heck. Bryan, many of you know, maybe all of you know, is our city manager. Has been in that position almost 5 years now, Bryan. And Bryan has done incredible work. I always like to say, challenges are with us every day, but opportunities come and go. And Bryan is one of those special leaders who's been in there since probably around '06 or so. And so he knows the organization backwards and forwards. And then he takes that kind of all that learning over those years and brings it to the city manager role. And he has been able to look at the challenges and handle those daily, but also take advantage of some opportunities. And this community's missed a lot of opportunities over the last 60 years, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I mean, one, you declined greatly, and so as we try to stem that and grow again, it's important that we're taking advantage of our opportunities. And so Bryan has done a great job with both of those areas, and the challenges aren't easy in a 12th largest city in Ohio. And we definitely have an urban core and we have urban challenges, but Bryan's taken those on as well as taking advantage of a lot of opportunities. A lot of good things coming to our community, a lot of good things already happening, but more to come. And we are definitely jumping the curve, I like to say. We're heading up the curve as a community, and that's a lot to say about Bryan Heck and his leadership at the city. And Bryan's going to talk to us a little bit about the Plaza today. Of course, that project's been going on for a while now. It's a very important project, and it is the core of our core. And so, with that, I'll let Bryan chat a little bit about what's going on in the Plaza.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the kind words, and I appreciate the opportunity to come speak before the group today and talk a little bit about the Plaza. It is hard to believe it will be 5 years exactly February 1st of this year. It's hard to believe it's been 5 years already. But I have been with the city since 2006 in a variety of roles, and those roles did help prepare me for what we're seeing today in our organization. Both internally and externally. And, I've had great experiences throughout my career, and I hope to continue those well into the future here in Springfield, because I do believe Springfield's future is very bright. As Mike has talked here and in other groups, we are in a window right now where I think we need to seize the opportunities. And what's great about our community and what I hear from different developers and folks coming in is they can see the collaborative mindset that exists within our community. And when they see that and feel that, they want to be a part of it. And so that's what excites me most, is to see all the different players, many of you in this room today that are a part of those circles, those tables, those discussions are helping move this community forward. But for us coming together as one, and working together, we wouldn't be where we are today, and we wouldn't be seeing the successes. So that's just a testament to all of you and your organizations for believing, picking up on Mike's the Chamber's theme this year, believing in Springfield and believing what our future can be. And so today I'm going to talk about the Plaza specifically. I promised Bryan not. I also, if you're coming tomorrow, I'm doing the State of the City for a group tomorrow. He said I can't repeat myself, so I'll solely speak to the Plaza today, but I'm going to try to share my screen. We'll see if this works. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Okay, so just to talk a little bit about the Plaza, this is, Mike has alluded, it's been going on a long time. It seems like it's been going on forever. I can safely say they are no longer jackhammering, so I'm very happy about that, because that was, our building shook like crazy when when the jackhammering was going on. They'd be right on the pillars, and concrete structure, yeah, it moves quite a bit. So that was fun. But this project, the impetus of this project started with a problem. We have a problem, as many of you know, we have a basement that is underneath this building. It is our parking garage. And so there's about 75 spaces that exist underneath our building, and it was leaking. It was leaking very bad. There was a lot of water coming in. It was deteriorating the concrete. It was going to lead to a major issue, a structural issue, if we did not address it. And so the project started out as that. Our service folks, our facilities division, was working towards fixing the water intrusion problem. Well, we were going to have to tear up a large portion of the plaza to be able to fix, because the main problem exists around the expansion joint. And that expansion joint has a rubber membrane around it that was failing. The rubber membrane, when it was originally installed, had about a 20 to 25-year shelf life, and we were moving into year 40 of that, for that rubber membrane around that expansion joint. And so that was the problem. But to get to that expansion joint and to fix that rubber membrane, we were going to have to tear up a lot of the concrete. And so many of you have heard me refer to it. I believe the plaza is a sea of concrete, has been a sea of concrete. It's not a very inviting space. It's a very dark, kind of cold space. And I thought this was the opportunity. If we were going to be tearing up a portion of the plaza, this was the opportunity for us as a community to really revitalize and rebuild this community space. And that's what it is. It's a community space for Springfield. And I wanted, along with our team and others, other organizations, here's our opportunity. Let's seize that moment. Let's seize that opportunity, because I'll be honest, there's probably not another, I know probably in my lifetime, the plaza will not be touched like this again. And so this was our moment to be able to address not only the garage and the leaking, but also to reinvent and reimagine the plaza and what it means for our community, and no longer be a sea of concrete. And so I was excited that we were able to bring in Moda 4 out of Dayton. They are a group that did some conceptual designing. Many of you participated in some sessions to just kind of lay out what should the plaza look like? What are some elements that we can add to the plaza that would make it more inviting and be a better public space? And so Moda 4 took that, and then we combined them with Desmond. If you remember the name Desmond, Desmond actually did the design for our parking garage, the park at the 99 downtown on Fountain. They were the design firm for that. And so they were able to incorporate Moda 4's conceptual design plans with their already developed design plans to fix the garage issue, and create this reimagined plaza. And so the image that you see today shows what it will look like when it's entirely complete. They started the project last year in 2023. And unfortunately, and I'll talk a little bit about some of the challenges that have existed as part of this project, the project is still ongoing with a planned completion date of April, which the timing works out well. April, things start warming up, people want to be outside, and the plaza will be available and ready for the community. And so one of the key points was eliminate the sea of concrete. And so what you see here is we've been able to remove a lot of the concrete that existed, because the plaza was pretty much all concrete. And so what we've done here is we've incorporated a lot more landscaping. So all the green spaces that you see in the trees, those are all landscape areas. So extensive landscape areas. It's funny, if you know our forester, James Wills, he'll pop up here to City Hall. He maintains all of our grounds and maintains them. And he looked out and he's like, it's a lot of landscape areas. So he's already thinking of all the maintenance that's going to come with it, but he's excited. James is he's a certified arborist. He loves trees. He loves plants. And so he's excited for what he's going to be able to create and maintain down here in the core block. And so the green areas are, again, enhanced landscaping areas for the plaza. The little white pillars that you see throughout are lighting components. That is one of the things I talked about, that the plaza was really kind of a dark, cold space. And so the enhanced lighting elements that will exist on the plaza will make it, again, a much more bright, inviting space for events, not only during the daytime, but in the evening as well. And so you'll see those white little pillars throughout the landscape beds, but you also see them throughout the plaza itself, because again, we want this to be that very lit, very enhanced illuminated space for our community. You think about events like Holiday in the City, the ice rink, that hopefully will come back to the plaza next year, and other events, Culture Fest and so forth. Having those enhanced lighting elements will make those events even better. And what's cool about it, it's LED technology. We will be able to change the lighting elements and control them to different colors. The example I always use, October. A lot of times people turn things pink for, cancer awareness, breast cancer awareness, and so forth. And so we can turn the whole building pink. We can illuminate that. Holiday in the City, we could do a variety of red, green, blues, and whites, whatever Ashton and Chris come up with for Holiday in the City theme. We'll be able to do that on the plaza with the lighting control system. And I think that's going to be really cool. And not only is it throughout the plaza, it's actually on our building as well. So we've added elements, LED elements on every pillar of our building, so we can uplight each pillar of City Hall. So I'm really excited about that opportunity because I think, again, this dark, cold space will be transformed into a well-lit, inviting environment for the community. Again, moving along the theme of eliminating concrete, you see the red areas outlined at the top of the plaza, and then also along the intersection of Fountain and High. Those are brick pavers. And so sticking in consistency with our unified plan elements, as you know, the unified plan that was adopted back 2008 incorporated streetscape elements, which included a brick paver strip. Well, we're incorporating those brick pavers into the plaza as well, because again, it provides a good break from the concrete. It's better looking aesthetically and just is more appealing and inviting. And so we're excited that we're able to add those elements, not only internal to the plaza, but also out on that main core intersection of the plaza, that entrance into the plaza. Another element is, again, to eliminate the concrete that was there. We will have artificial turf elements as well. So you see artificial turf labeled on both sides, so it kind of mirrors each other. Again, that was an intention to break up the space, to have a softer space, not all hard space, but also have a space that was usable year round. If it rains or rains the day before an event, and that was actual grass there, you might not be able to use it. But now those areas will be able to be used even if we have a rain event or, during Holiday in the City, a snow event. Those areas can be cleared and utilized. There'll be different seating elements and so forth throughout there. Again, just trying to create inviting environments, inviting spaces within the plaza. I'll stick kind of up in this core area of the plaza. One of the other elements that you see, so we have two vents that have to stay in place. And what we're trying to do there is, yes, they have to stay in place. And if you remember, they used to be fountains, and then they were turned to mulch beds. There were the two areas of seating that just didn't look that nice that sat there. Those are in the similar areas. We will landscape around those areas. And then what's exciting about that is we are able to bring in the public art to the plaza. So there has been a large movement with the Downtown Public Art Committee. As we know, the murals, the signal box wraps, other art elements in downtown, we'll be able to incorporate those into the plaza. I'll show a design a little later that kind of shows what the panels look like, but there will be a spot for decorative or public art walls right in the center of the plaza. And there'll be seating around those walls as well. People will be able to do selfies and so forth, get their picture taken with the public art, and they're interchangeable. So it's not a static where you put something up and it's going to be a long time there. We can actually interchange those based off of the different themes. So if there's a theme to Holiday in the City, we can put up art themed around that. If there's a theme around Culture Fest, any type of event that's going to be hosted on the plaza, those public art walls are interchangeable panels. And those are lit as well. So there's lighting elements so that they'll actually be lit from the top down on the public art wall elements. Another piece is, obviously, water is a huge part of Springfield. And so we wanted to incorporate some water elements into this. Originally, we were looking at doing some sort of splash pad in the plaza. lot of health requirements, health department rules and regulations that now come with splash pads and public restrooms, so forth. So what we ended up incorporating are jumping fountains. So if anybody's been to like Disney World and Epcot and so forth, they have jumping fountains at the entrance to that. That's what we'll have in the plaza as well. These jumping fountains will go from one platform to the next, and those will be right centered in between the public art walls and some enhanced seating that you'll see further out on the plaza. So definitely excited for those elements because again, water is a big part of Springfield and our history, and why we're so successful is the water that we have in our community. And so just being able to highlight that with a water element, I think is cool. The lower plaza area will be somewhat similar. So if you remember, it was the 2 foot by 2 foot concrete tiles. There'll be a different color. There'll be a little bit more muted, actually, more of like your dark grays. But we will have those concrete 2 by 2 tiles placed in that lower plaza area. That's important